Talk to me about what are these overlays as a garage floor solution and what's the problem? What makes these so disastrous?
Well, what's interesting about overlays is you're starting off with a normal concrete floor and you're trying to make it look like stamped concrete. You're building up the thickness and giving it the look of stone or brick or tile. So it's cementitious. It's not a coating. It doesn't go out liquid. It's more like the cement paste that makes up your floor to begin with. So it is actually a very strong product that they bond to the floor. They stamp it down with a type of mat, and there's usually integral color or there's color they introduce to it, and then you seal it. So overlays have a lot of problems. It's tied to the sealers aren't going to hold up well. The texture allows dirt to get trapped in it, and the overlay can disbond later from the vehicular traffic traversing it. A lot of times what happens is you start out with something that's quite cool looking like we see here in this picture, but what you end with is it broken away. So like we see that area in the open bay where a big chunk of it just broke loose, it
Yeah.
disbonded. And that's very common. The cracks can traverse back through it like you see here, and the sealers wear down. It's a nightmare to try and clean and keep
Well, one
clean.
and one other thing that I've heard people complain about this solution is it starts to develop kind of like a hollow sound. Is that correct?
It can. When it's starting to disbond, like that area where it's missing here, that would have sounded hollow at a certain point because it's setting there, but it's not bonded to the concrete anymore. Now, the good thing about overlays from our perspective is you don't see it in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, because yes, it's going to be terrible in a garage, but this can be problematic anywhere in our environment.
And I think one of the other things is that, like they because of the material, they tend to be more of a porous, breathable, or there's certain ones that are more porous and breathable. And that just sounds like in this area it would be a nightmare.
It is, and to do it right, you've got to work with those sealers and rejuvenate them. And rejuvenating the sealers is so problematic. So overlays, much like when I talk about stamped concrete in the garage, they're really bad because they look beautiful at first. They're not going to hold up well, and they're a disaster to get rid of because they're very, very difficult to grind back down. Because you at least got to grind the overlay to flat to fix it. And usually in grinding it to try and remove it, it starts to shatter, which means then you got to get rid of almost all of it. So this is one of those things where if you were doing this around your pool, okay, if you're doing it on a sidewalk to rejuvenate it, sure.